Hi guys, I've got a request from Ryan Shamblin to make a rubber band powered car using one size 64 rubber band, and it's got to travel 4 meters. Well, straight away I got a little problem because I haven't got any size 64 rubber bands. Size 64 is 3.5 inches long and 1/4 of an inch wide. This one looks like a size 63. I don't think the camera will catch it, but it's 3 inches long. Size 64 is 1/4 of an inch wide. This is, I would say, 3/16, so it's a bit smaller. So that's a bit smaller all round, but I'll use it anyway because I'm pretty confident I'll get 4 meters out of it regardless. We need some drinking straws. These actually come from IKEA. Oh, there's a few other ones in there as well. Need some CDs. Now these are ones I've used already, but I'll just talk you through it. There'll be a link in the video description on how to make these. You need some plastic bottle tops that you hot glue in the centre, and then your barbecue skewer, which is the axle, you need to push through the middle, and that gets over the problem that CDs have got a big hole in the middle. You make plastic hubs and it all fits together nicely. As I say, there'll be a link in the video description to a help file on how to make them. I cover them with pretty coloured paper as well, sticky back paper, so they look a bit more interesting. So I've got plenty of them and plenty of barbecue skewers. You'll also need a paper clip. This is bigger than you need, but a paper clip of some size. You'll need some cotton or string of some sort. This comes off an old kite. And you need some cardboard. This is a cardboard box that's laying around. Now for this build I'm going to make it about the chassis, or the body, about 12 inches long. And this cardboard is about 12 inches across there. If you look at the grain of the cardboard, the lines are going this direction. So that's the direction I'll use for the chassis, or the body. So I'll cut a strip out of here. We'll use that for the body. I'll use a hot glue gun to glue it all together. You can use other things. Sticky tape will do, but I use hot glue because it's convenient and I've got a hot glue gun. And we'll put it together. I would think if we make it, so say 12 inches long and 4 or 5 inches wide, that'll be plenty. A sharp knife is convenient for cutting up cardboard. Depending on how thick your cardboard is, you might be able to do it with scissors. So it looks like it unfolds. So that's convenient because that means we've got some fold lines along there that we can cut along, and that will keep the front and back of the car nice and parallel. So I shall cut along those lines. First thing I'll do is cut it a bit smaller anyway, I think, because I haven't got a very big cutting space here. Make sure you've got a cutting board to cut onto, otherwise you'll be cutting a hole in your kitchen table. As you can see, I really haven't got space for this size board. These got little bits in there, they're no good to me, I'll have to cut between them. Let's do that again. That's better. That should do. Okay, we'll cut along the line, along the fold line. And that should help us to keep the front axle and the back axle parallel. Then I'll cut nicely down along one of the lines in the cardboard so we get a nice straight side. What did I say? About 4 or 5 inches. Yeah, about there somewhere. If you find your cardboard's too flexible, you can always double it up, put another layer on top, and that will stiffen it up. Or put a piece in at an angle like that, and the T shape that it forms will make it rigid. In fact, I could just demonstrate that, couldn't I? So if you find one of the lines in the middle, that'll help you keep it nice and straight. So that'll stiffen a thin piece of cardboard for you. So that's our chassis. Now we need to put some drinking straws on the end, and we also need a bit of a slot cut out so that when the rubber band wraps up on the back axle it doesn't foul against the bodywork. I suppose I ought to draw it out so you can see what I'm talking about. You need to cut that bit out so that when the axle's turning with the rubber band around it, it doesn't jam up against the edge of the bodywork. Right, now we need to glue a drinking straw across the back. You want it to be a little bit wider than the body. That'll stop the wheels rubbing against the side. So you could use sticky tape to do this. let that cool down for a minute. And then what I do is I put a little bit to go right the way round. Glue gun's getting a bit old, playing up. That's better. Alright, that'll do. Need some scissors. So that's the back axle done. For the front axle, you could use the pieces that are left over if you want to save on drinking straws, or you could put another one straight across. But before I do that, I'm going to put that paper clip on the end to hook the rubber band onto. So paper clip, you need to bend it. You can do it by hand, or if you've got a convenient pliers, you can do it like that. I'm going to glue that just there. So I've hot glued the paper clip onto the end there, and that's where we'll hook the rubber band onto. Let that cool for a second. Put that across there. Again, put my little loops of hot glue over it. Again, sticky tape would do fine. So that's our basic car chassis. So say, look in the video description for the link on how to do the wheels. Now, if you find that your wheels can turn if you hold the axle, then it's a good idea to put some hot glue on the end there to make it grip, because otherwise when you wind it up you may find that the axle spins and the wheels don't. The front wheels don't matter, it's the back wheels that you need to make sure they're a good tight grip. Trim that down a bit. You need to make sure there's a little bit of a gap between the end of the drinking straw and the wheel so that it runs freely. And then on the back axle, it's a good idea to put a little bit of barbecue skewer sticking up to hook the rubber band onto. Obviously that's much too long, it needs to be short enough not to get caught up on the bodywork. Something like that. Now, our 1 size 63 rubber band is much too short, so this is where the string comes in. So we need to make a piece of string with a loop on the end and tie it onto there. So the easy way is just make a loop like that, and then push your band through. So there we are, that's that loop. Then we need to make it the right length to go to the back. If it's too long, then it gets caught on the back axle. You want it to be just the right length, so when it gets to the end of the run, it comes off the hook and the car can freewheel. So I want that to be about there. So it's just the right length. Put the rubber band through the paper clip, push it through itself, and all a bit of string. Right, that's what we don't want to happen. It's getting caught on the back axle, so I need to shorten it just a little bit. That's just a bit too long. Let's try that again. All I did was tie the loop in the middle to shorten it. That's better. So it comes off cleanly, so the car can carry on freewheeling. We'll go and test run it. Test run time. My kitchen is 5 meters long, and then after that is my conservatory. So, hook it on the back axle. Wind it up. Try and do this so you can see it. We'll start it way back here. And we'll follow it. So that worked, didn't it? That was about 9 meters. We only had to do 4. I wonder if I can get it to go the full length of my hallway as well. Right, I'm outside my front door, so that's my entrance hallway, kitchen and then conservatory. And the chances of me getting a straight line and going through it all is pretty slim. I usually hit something on the way through. Let's see what happens. Yeah, easy. Job done. Don't forget to look at the video description for how to make the wheels.